First of all, thank you so much for all of you that are sending us questions, just replying to the newsletter and saying, hey, can you talk about this? We love it. Gives us great topics to reply to each month when it comes to this newsletter. So keep them coming. We love them. And the questions we are receiving almost all relate to the question we mentioned earlier this month. Where do I put my money? Right? We've talked about CDs. We've talked about annuities. We've talked about the market. What about gold? We hear radio commercials, TV commercials, infomercials. You should buy gold, right? It's shiny. Who doesn't want some bling, right? Some shiny stuff in your portfolio, which makes a lot of sense, right? Gold has always been a staple of conversations when it comes to investments and your holdings. So let's break down, does gold really make sense in my portfolio? Because we know now that the market's kind of been a little wishy-washy and hasn't cooperated, losing almost 20%, in 2022, people are taking a second look at conservative investments. Should I put it in a savings account? My local bank said I can get 5%, or a fixed annuity, or an index annuity, or maybe CDs, or bonds. With all these different interest rate hikes, conservative investments are cool again. And we're trying to figure out, should gold be part of that conversation? Well, let's break this down. What people don't realize is in retirement, we don't view investments the same way we viewed investments when we were in our 30s and 40s. When you're in your 30s, you know what? You have 40, 50, 60 years. But when you get to retirement, your time frame is truncated. We're thinking maybe 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. And that really matters when it comes to choosing investments, right? If you're buying gold, and I know people say it always goes up, it always goes up. It's kind of like, sort of. And let me explain. This is a chart outlining the gold prices since the 1980s. And as you can see here, if you purchased gold in 1980, it dropped and it took almost 27 years for it to get back to the price in which you purchased it in 2007. 27 years. That's an entire retirement. So there's a good chance in that gap, if you bought in at any point, you never got even. Your gold went backwards your entire retirement. So that doesn't feel very safe to me. Then you see some trends here. It does go up in, obviously up in 2012. You had a nice run. But then over the next 11 years, up until 2023, it stayed flat. So that means your gold hasn't worked for you at all. So if you bought in around 2012 and 11, half your retirement or a third of your retirement, gold didn't provide any returns. So while people like to tell a story that gold always goes up, when you see this chart, well, sure, over the course of almost 50 years, but you don't have 50 years. So there's plenty more conservative, easy to understand. You're not in the market. You're not checking the prices of the indexes or the prices of the commodities, exchanges to see where gold, silver, platinum, hay, I don't know, whatever you're buying, what's baking now. Sometimes the commodities just aren't worth it. So when you think of simple, think of CDs, think of fixed annuities, think of fixed index annuities, think of money markets. These things are predictable and easy and they never go backwards. So gold is still at risk when it comes to your retirement.